So I got into this race, and some years ago had recognized that I didn't think we were asking candidates for office the right question. I thought we were letting them give lip service to the issues that were important in today's race. Y'all are all concerned, we're all concerned about the federalization of health care, we're all concerned about cap and trade. And candidates will get up here and tell you they're against cap and trade and they're against the federalization of health care, and that's well and good in February of 2010, but what's the crisis going to be in January of 2011 when they take office? And are they going to know where to stand on that issue? And I've been saying for some years we ought to be asking these candidates, why don't you tell us what you think keeps us free? Why don't you tell me a little bit about what you think about the proper role of government? Do you understand that this free society rested once on 3 pillars? Families and individuals used to have some responsibility. Remember when? Communities and churches used to play a role in this society. Remember when? And the government's job was to have a fair and just set of laws that applied equally to everybody. Their job wasn't to deliver health care. It wasn't to make sure the kids were educated. It wasn't to provide this service and that service and every service under the sun. It wasn't to regulate business. Can't even make a decision in your business anymore for filling out the government forms and regulations. Right. See, we had 3 pillars once. We've got to start getting back to that. And so I've made the cornerstone of this campaign that issue of freedom. And many of you have nodded your head and said, that's right, private property ownership is the cornerstone of freedom. As critical to freedom as air and water is to life. We're either going to be free, we're going to fight that battle. We're going to fight it at the ballot box. We're going to fight it on the soapbox. Or one day somebody's going to have to open up the ammo box to get back what we've lost. We don't own our property. We rent it. And everything about government ought to be telling us, should have been telling us for 30 years, we're tenants. We're tenants. You want to put a little utility shed in the back of your house, you got to get permission from the landlord because it ain't your land. You want to add a carport beside your home, you got to have permission because it ain't, isn't that just how a landlord treats a tenant? Exactly. You want to drill a water well? You want to pump water out of that water well, do you? You're going to have my permission because you can only have so many gallons a day. Whose land is it, anyway? That's right. When the government owns the means of production, you don't have a free society. As a teenager, I thought that the United States of America competed in every way with Russia. It seemed to me we were racing to the moon and we were racing in the Olympics and Russia competed. That nation that was replete in natural resources had a government that took and took and took from the people, and the people quit working. This isn't about whether or not we have natural resources. It's about whether or not people will produce. And when the government takes from you, and when you have to live like a tenant, as a sharecropper, you know, as an indentured servant, you don't have much incentive to work.